call it.
Okay.
Just for everybody can know about it.
Like what though? Like what would you want to do? I mean, first of all, I guess people probably haven't heard about this in a while, so give them an update at least on what the nonprofit is. All right, so it's Building the Feeling.
The nonprofit is called Building the Feeling, and it's for our youth, children and our youth, and just to it's mainly just to build them from within,
right.
Making them feel good about themselves from the inside, and it shows outward, so.
Okay. And how important is that?
I think that's very important because that's where the attitudes come from. That's
right.
where their self-confidence come from, their self-esteem come from.
Right.
And it's a lot of children out there that doesn't have that within their family, within their household. Family or within their household. True. So, I mean, they need to be told that.
Yeah.
As starting at a very young age. Mm-hmm. And they don't need no one to tell them that to make them feel that way. They should feel that way right. about themselves, despite of, what everyone else is looking like, despite of what they see on TV and videos and right. all this. It doesn't, your appearance doesn't mean anything if you don't feel good within yourself.
Right.
So I think that's very important. But anyway, I want to really get into that.
Okay.
Me working. I have been working for a while, but me working now, so that's kind of helping. That's going to help me do more of what I want to do with that,
right? With
the nonprofit organization, as far as financial wise. So
right.
I want to do that. So I'm starting to look back into it and getting it out there.
All right, cool. That's what's up. Now, just to piggyback on that, not talking about the nonprofit specifically, but it was this post on Facebook maybe a week ago. I shared it on my page, and I said that. I said I was going to share this video with my team every week. And, just as a side note, because it was comical, but it was so real. Though. I don't know if you've seen this post, but it was a dude saying about how, you're giving all of your hours to, a corporate America job. I'm using air quotes here, but you can't see me. But, giving all your hours to a corporation or whatever. But then by the time you get home, you're too tired to give your dreams that same effort. Right. So he was saying at some point, obviously, you can't do both forever. Mm-hmm. But he's like, at some point, you just gonna have to be tired because you should not be, you shouldn't get to a point where it's okay that you give another job 9 hours and can't give your dream the same amount.
And that is the truth.
Yeah. So I think it was dope. It was comical the way he was saying it, but it was some truth in it. I was like, I think that's important to share with people. And that's another thing. It's not exactly the same as, instilling confidence in the children and youth, but I think it's giving them a different point of view. And I think that point of view is something that's needed because, especially in this day and age, and I don't want to get too far into that, but this generation, man, it's like everybody thinks that stuff comes to you so easy without no hard work.
Yeah.
And even people who are established at this point, who have their own businesses or are entrepreneurs, I'll be the first to tell you that, quite honestly, I won't say probably, is more than likely more fulfilling than going into a 8 or 9 or 10 hour job, every day. But it's probably more work. Is undoubtedly more work because you have to put into every facet of it, but it's more rewarding.
Exactly.
But I think the point that's missing is the work. Like people forget that you have to put the work in.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You definitely have to put in the work if this is something that you want to see grow.
Right.
You definitely can't be lazy about doing it.
I mean, you can be, but you want to accomplish now.
I mean, exactly. So if you decide to be lazy, you definitely want to accomplish anything.
Right.
But most definitely. So I'm definitely looking to that because I'm not the 9 to 5 type of girl, really. So it's just so I'm definitely getting into that, and I also want to just along with just building up the confidence, mm-hmm. I want to do the dance studio as well.
Right.
With that, it's because dance studio for low income families,
right,
who can't afford to send their children who love to dance,
right,
to a dance studio, and that alone, dance itself can help build up their confidence and self-esteem.
And I was going to say also to turn people on to it that may have not even thought that was an option.
Yep.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. All right, well, yeah, that's what's going on with you. Obviously, I know you want to quit the 9-to-5 rat race, just like everybody else. And I'm kind of on that same thing. Nothing too much been going on with me. Just trying to get all these projects together, get everything rolling. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a chance to do our show yesterday, so shout out to all the E Block Radio fans that missed out on the show yesterday due to the power outage that we're getting ready to speak about in just a moment. But we'll be back next week, of course. But outside of that, man, same thing. Like you said, just the 9-to-5 grind, trying to add those extra hours for myself, you know what I'm saying, on my actual dream. So that's what's up as well. And I think that's where everybody is at this point. And again, I'm not going to get all the way into politics, but I think this is a great time. I think this is a great time to really jump out there and do your own thing, because the way politics and capitalism and corporate America are all tied in together, this is a great time to get out of that rat race.
Most definitely. That's
what I think. But yeah, we're gonna move right on into our trending topics. Don't forget, if you're on eblockradio.com right now, you can hit us up at 760-283-4647 and hit that number 1 key. And of course, it is the lovely Miss CoCo J and your boy the Hood Howard Stern. Hold it down on He Say, She Say. So we're going to jump off into the trending topics, see what's going on right now. So I think the major topic, obviously, at least in the Michigan area, is the power outage. Now, before we get too far into this, I did just want to say that we're talking about, if you're not familiar, all right, so there was a heavy windstorm, kind of like, I'll say in the Midwest area, not just in Michigan, because I know they had some windstorms some other places. But right here in Michigan, though, we're looking at over 900,000 people lost power after Wednesday's storm. And we call it a storm, but really it was just wind. Mm-hmm. But over 900,000. So since then, today being Friday, I guess close to 300,000 people have gotten their power restored. But it's still over 650,000 left that don't have power. I got a kind of funny story. It's funny because she's okay. But before we started the show, I was watching the news, and it was a little girl. I'm not sure exactly where it was at.
Swung on the door.
Yes, you saw that?
Yeah.
That was hilarious, though. Like, the wind was blowing so hard that it blew the screen door open with the little girl hanging on to it. Like, it looked like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, it really looked like a movie. But that's how hard the wind was blowing. I mean, trees down everywhere. Like, it was, it was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then also, like you said, a lot of schools were closed as well.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of schools. I think a little over 300 schools.
Damn, for real? Yeah. Because they didn't have power and everything else. Like, trees was down, power lines was down, like, people didn't have water, they didn't want to send their kids to school funky, all that kind of stuff. Right? It was definitely a hold your weave day on Wednesday. Hold your weave and your toupee, whatever you got going on, hairpiece or whatever. Eyelashes too, man. I think eyelashes probably got lost in that windstorm, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Yeah. Good thing I haven't experienced that.
Right. Definitely wasn't a skirt there, I tell you that. Unless you was on your Marilyn Monroe thing. But, now the thing too, though, that I wanted to say about that is that with the, and I guess this is probably just, I don't know, this is just me thinking too much. But I just figured, you would think that after a while, that some of these things would be in place. Now, obviously, I know that we had winds that was like over 70 miles an hour. But at some point, when is the infrastructure going to be able to handle some stuff? Like, I know that's probably a ridiculous speed for wind. No, that's like damn near a tornado.
Yeah,
so I guess I can't really be mad about that. But it seems like regular weather stuff affects our infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I mean like, power lines, that kind of thing, so easily. Like, what do you think that is? You think it's just old stuff that they refuse to repair, even though prices keep going up?
I think so. I think they don't want to put in the money that they need to put in for it won't happen.
Right.
Unfortunately.
But they're making the money because the rates are steadily going up.
Right.
So, yeah.
But for now, they're just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
And just, you have power, so we'll wait till next time
to
fix it again when it goes out. So, I mean, that's the same issue here in Southfield for a while. I mean, I'm thankful that the power didn't go out in Southfield, at least not over in my area.
Okay. But
before then, it always went out. The wind didn't even have anything to do with it. Yeah. But I think now they kind of finally gave in and do what they needed to do, because they probably got a whole bunch of complaints from the residents. So they need to stop putting a Band-Aid on it and do what they need to do to fix it.
Right. Obviously, unless something strange will happen, like the power will go out tonight after the windstorm over. You know that could happen too.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but shout out to them for having that, taken care of. Shout out to Colorado too, where it's 70 degrees. So you know what I'm saying, I can't really be mad about that because I'm still here in Colorado. So on that note, yeah. So now this is we want to jump to this real quick. We're gonna come back to some stuff about the power outage. But this is something that we just found out yesterday. Now, did you want to intro that about the four-way stop thing? All right, so this is something strange that we seen on television yesterday, or actually on the news, where we were just made aware that a four-way stop is actually illegal, right? So that just means so if you're coming up to a light and the power is out and there's no light, that you're really you're not supposed to stop unless you pull up to an intersection and the person on your right-hand side is already there. At that point, you are to stop and yield to that person. Now, that obviously makes sense, and I think that's what people do anyway, but they come to a complete stop first. And to say that that's illegal is just retarded to me.
It is. I think so. I never knew that.
Right, I never knew that. So, I mean, basically what the police was saying... Yeah, like when you're from Detroit, that's how you say police. Well, I know, it's kind of funny. When I just heard myself say it out loud, but
police.
Yeah, I guess it's supposed to be police.
Police.
Yeah, but we say the police, right? The police. But yeah, so theoretically, if you pulling up and somebody coming on your left hand side, you're supposed to just breeze through. So I mean,
that's just like an accident.
It's an accident waiting to happen, right? I mean, you got to be. If everybody followed the rules, it probably could work. But who actually? I'm not doing it. People run
lights when they're not out.
Right.
Like,
true.
Come on now. I'm gonna definitely stop. I don't care if I do have the right of way. I'm gonna yield. I'm gonna stop to see what the next person is doing.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that just makes sense. But I mean, they're saying it to the point where it's illegal. Like if they catch you stopping there, you go get a ticket.
Right. That don't make no sense.
If that's the case, I would rather get the ticket than lose my life.
Exactly. And I would fight that ticket to the best of my ability in court.
Right, for real. But I think that's retarded though. And this is probably one of those laws that was written back in like 1922.
Well, they need to change that law because that's a crazy law.
Well, I'm just guessing that's what it is. Probably something that was written long time ago and they just never got a chance to change it. It's so many laws that's like that though. That's kind of ridiculous. But now, speaking of the power outage though, and not just this recent one though, I kind of want to throw it back to 2000. What was that? 2003 when we had the blackout.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was like all the way across from. I'm not even gonna say Michigan. I want to say Indiana.
Yeah.
All the way across to the eastern seaboard. Just to recap on that, we're gonna throw it back just a little bit. It ain't Throwback Friday. We call it Flashback Friday. Do you remember? Like where was you at when that popped off?
I was at home.
You was at home?
I was at home on Cody Street. That's the street I used to live on, Cody Street, when it happened. And I thought my lights had got turned off. I'm like, hold on. Didn't I just pay this bill?
Right. God damn it, I'm on the payment plan.
But yeah, I was at home.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Dog, what did you think though? Like, did you think it was just a random thing? Like, just like the power just went out in your neighborhood?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, now see, this is my thing. I was at Wayne State. I was at Wayne State University. It was in August, so I was going to register for classes that year. So I was going into the library, and as I was walking up to the library, like everybody was coming out, like where everybody going? So people started telling me like, bro, the power out, man, don't even waste your time. So I'm like, damn, power out on campus. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like I'm at Wayne State, power out on campus. So I'm like, there. So now I'm like, well, I'm just gonna shoot to the other building. They was like, man, power out all over campus. Like, you might as well chalk it up. Like, you ain't gonna be able to register today. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm gonna jump in the whip. So this is throwback because we had Nextels, right? So I'm riding. I jump in the whip. Ain't paying attention that like all the lights is out. So I get chirped. It's my man 2G's, right? So 2G's chirped me. So I chirped him back like what up? Cause like, ain't you at work? So he was like, yeah, like, dog, you know what's going on? I'm like, what you talking about? I was like, why don't you just call me? He's like, man, the phone calls don't go through, right? So the chirp was working. I guess because the chirp's not, I guess they on like a 1X line. Like they not on the real phone lines. So he was like, yeah, I had heard on the radio before the radio went off that the power was out all the way to New York. I'm like, what? So automatically, I started thinking, I'm thinking we under attack. Like, they had just flew the planes into the Twin Towers 2 years before that. Or no, it hadn't happened yet. You're right. It hadn't happened yet. But it was already.
Hold on.
It was yes, it did. I'm tripping. 2001. Yeah, 2001. It had already happened 2 years prior to that. 9/11, 2001. That was 2001.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 2001. So 2 years before that had happened. So I thought something was popping off for real. So then that's when I left there and I tried to call my mom's now, and luckily like it went through because they had a regular phone line plugged into the wall. You know what I'm saying? So anybody with a cordless phone wouldn't work, and you couldn't call cell phones like the signals was jammed. I guess everybody was too busy trying to be on the phone. Like, dog, I didn't know what was going on.
But you know what? That I can't say. I think it was something with that. They want to put everybody in a panic attack.
Yeah.
I think they had something to do with that. Yeah, because it was a hot summer. Long. It was a hot summer day.
Hot as hell.
Hot as hell. Exactly. So I definitely remember.
And we're talking about several states, though. Several states.
Yes, exactly. So I think that was kind of like a setup.
You think so? Just to see how people would react?
Yeah, just to see the reaction of,
I think that happens with a lot. I mean, I could even theorize, on 9/11 with that. But anyway, we're not going to get on to that. We going to keep it moving on that one. But yeah, I just thought that was some crazy stuff. But I tell you what, though. The power was out at that point, for about a week. Like, it was off for a grip, right? I want to say it went off at least 3 or 4 days. Like, it wasn't no power.
I don't recall. I think more. I can only remember more than 2 days.
I think it was about 3 or 4.
Really?
In some places, some places, of course, in some places, some areas of the east side of Detroit, they don't care if the lights on or not. But the funny thing though, the liquor store was still selling liquor though. Yeah, seriously, they was letting you in like one at a time, like with flashlights. They was ringing it out. They was selling liquor.
Hey, because they needed a drink after that one, I guess.
Yeah, they needed that money.
Both.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But I ain't never had that much barbecue in my life, though. We barbecue all day long because you had to do something with the food.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you had that shit sitting on some dry ice.
Right, but where would you go get it from?
They was running out like that.
So where would you go get it from? Right, you was hit. I think we ate. I ate so much ice cream that night, for real, because you had to get rid of it. Like, so I ate so much ice cream. You talking about hot dough?
I'm sure you enjoyed it.
You talking about hot dough?
The ice cream or you?
Everything? Me hot?
Oh man, I remember just being in underwear,
because
it was laid out.
And you were still sweating. It was hot.
I couldn't go get a most of
go get a room
most of the rooms didn't even have a backup generator.
They have a generator, no.
Yeah, so.
Exactly. I remember that. Just so happened at that point, my sister and them was going out of town to see my brother-in-law's brother, and he had a conference somewhere in Indiana, and Indiana still had power. They drove to Indiana during the blackout. Craziness though. Like if you ain't had gas, you was hit.
The gas was it? Yeah, you couldn't pump the gas.
You couldn't pump no gas. Right, you couldn't pump no gas. So if you ain't had gas, you was hit.
Hey, that's why we should keep our tanks on full.
But that's what people start saying.
You never know.
No, that's what people started saying. Like, if you ain't had no gas, then you couldn't run the car a long time, so you couldn't really charge your phones. Like, you was hit. You was hit. Yeah, you was hit, man. Yeah. But yeah, so enough about power outages, but that was a crazy little flashback right there. I really thought that was a terrorist attack, though. I really didn't know. But before we jump off into our for real hot topic, man, it was something else you want to holler at the people about. So what was that about?
Oh, that was about my nephew Rashad. I want to give a shout out to my nephew Rashad. He graduated from boot camp today from the Navy.
Okay.
So he
shout out to the Navy.
Yes, I am so excited. I hate I couldn't be there, but they only received a certain amount of tickets for the family.
Right.
But yeah, he was in his mom, dad, brother, and another close friend went out to Chicago yesterday to see him graduate from boot camp for the Navy.
Okay. So the graduation was yesterday.
The graduation was today, but they drove out there last night. Yes.
Okay.
So
they didn't get a chance to see him last night though. They didn't see him until the graduation.
You know
today.
what? I don't think so. I think they just seen him up until today.
Yeah.
But yeah, he called me. I was so happy. I was in tears. I'm just so happy because I'm not, I'm used to seeing Rashad come over to my house and stuff, and I hadn't seen him in a couple months because of, he was in boot camp. But yeah, shout out to my cousin. I'm talking about my cousin. Shout out to my nephew Rashad.
Right.
And I just wish him the best. I wish him the best. I'm glad I talked to him. I'm glad he called me.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I can't wait till he come home. He said he come home. He have to go.
Just for the record, it looks like she getting ready to cry right now.
He has to go to Texas for a couple months. Then he comes home for 2 weeks. Yeah. So I'm so excited to see him.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, but shout out to my baby.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my man Shad out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Out there, Sailor Boy Shad. We call it Sailor Boy Shad.
Yes.
That's gonna be his new nickname.
He looks just like Sailor Boy Shad.
Right. All right, man. So look, we go keep it moving. That was our trending topics for today. Of course, this is www.eblockradio.com, straight from the E-Block Podcast Network. All right, I almost forgot. Straight from the E-Block Podcast Network. All right, make sure though, if you're on eblockradio.com right now, you can hit us up 760-283-4647. Getting ready to get into that hot topic, but before we get into that hot topic, we gotta refresh our drinks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Knob Hill who are not our sponsors, but we are partaking in libations from Knob Hill. So we're gonna jump off into the hot topic. Don't forget 760-283-4647. Hot topic today is: can you be in love with two people at the same damn time? We want to know. 760-283-4647. Hit that number one key as we refresh our drinks. CoCo J, what you think, man? What can you be in love with two people at the same time?
I say no.
Okay, and why you say
and
no?
I'm just gonna leave it at that. No, I'm just playing.
Right. All right. Check y'all out next week.
No, seriously, I say no because you can love someone, then you can be in love with someone. Mm-hmm. So if if the person that you're in love with, it seems like you will focus on that person that you're in love with, right?
Yeah. So it takes focus, you saying?
I think so. It takes effort.
Okay.
To even show that person that you're in love with, to show that person that you're in love with them. Right. So, I don't think that you can be in love with two people at the same time. You may think you are, but you don't really love one of those persons. You don't really love. You're not in love with them. Rather, you just love them because you two may have history together or memories together. Okay. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're in love with them. Yeah. The person you're in love with, it's like you're trying to build. You're trying to build with them, basically. So and continue to build with them. It's a feeling. I can't really describe the feeling. Okay. But it's just a feeling that you're in love. You're absolutely in love with this person, and there's no one else that you will want to be with. Right. Loving somebody, you just find you just. So you
can love anybody.
You just holding on to the memories. Okay. And I think that's where the issue is, to where people get confused as what being in love is versus loving somebody.
I guess I can dig that. So have you ever thought you was in that situation at all?
Being in love with the same two people?
Yeah. Maybe you thought you was in love with both of them, but really just loved one, but was in love with the other?
I would have to say that I thought maybe I was in love with both, but...
Okay. What made you realize you wasn't, though?
Because you still think about this other person. Or... I mean, well, you know what? That can happen. So let me take that back. That can happen even when you just love this person, because you're just reminiscing back on the memories that y'all shared or y'all have. So I don't know. Sometimes you just have to ask yourself, when you find yourself in that situation to where you think you may be in love with two people, right? Then you have to ask yourself, really, you have to be real with yourself. Like, am I really in love with this person and that person at the same time? Or is it just the memories that I'm holding on to with this person and me being in love with the other person? Right. So once you start to let those memories go with the person that you love, then you'll begin to realize that you are really in love with
So that's all it is just memories? That's what you're saying?
I think so. I think so. Because it's like, because being in love, it's like when a person is in love, you show it. You show it through your effort. You show this person that you're in love with them, and that's what you're constantly doing.
Yeah.
You're giving that person your attention and all of that, or letting them know how much you want to be with them, how much you're in love with them. And
you can't do that with two people. Is what you're saying?
I don't think so. I mean, if you try to do that with two people, you're selling someone that's coming up short.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
that don't mean that you're not in love with them because they're coming up short.
For one, yeah, it does pretty much.
I don't see. Well, look. So what about this though? What about people who, different cultures, who have multiple wives and everything?
That don't mean they in love with them. That's just what they do. That don't mean they're in love. What is being in love?
Well, what about this though? All right, I'm gonna answer that in just a second. But what about this though? What about two people? What about two people being in love with the same person though?
Huh?
What about two people being in love with the same person? Like what if I got two people that I think that I'm in love with both of them, but really I guess one is just memories, but they both in love with me.
They're still not in love with you.
I mean, they could be.
Well, they could be because they're two different people. Yeah. Right, so that's possible.
Right, so that means
because you're selling them this dream.
So that's what it is. You're selling a dream.
You're selling them this dream, and you're stretching yourself so thin to have this person, one person fall in love with you, and to have the other person fall in love with you. Yeah. But you can only be in love with one person.
What about? I'm just saying. I'm just looking at all the angles here. What about like it was a movie that I seen, and I can't remember exactly what the name of the movie was. I'm trying to think. But anyway, what happened was that they were married, right? They were in love, right? I think the husband...
You don't even have to be in love to be married.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
They loved each other.
Okay.
And I think it was either the dude... It was the dude... They thought he had got killed. Like, they thought he had died. Like, she thought he was dead and thought it was a wrap. So at that point, she ended up moving on a few years later and fell in love with somebody else. And then found out the husband was alive. But she was still in love with him, though. So at that point, she was...
What's the name? What's that movie? What's the known TV actor? The dude...
Which one? Malik Yoba?
The one who got stuck on the island. What's that movie? Who talked to the soccer ball all that time?
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks movie.
I don't know. No, it was some black people.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a black people movie. but no, the movie you're thinking about probably has the same premise. I'm not sure. Probably same premise. But what about that? She's in love. She is still in love with that person. She just thought he was dead. So she is actually, at this point, still in love with two people. So it can happen.
Well, you know what?
But But I was going to say, in her defense, I guess she only moved on because she thought he was dead. So
right. So she have never lost that love she had for him. So
exactly. So that could happen to a person that's not dead.
It's a different situation, though, is what I'm saying.
How?
Because that person who she fell in love with, she was trying to find her husband in that person.
And she might have.
But since her husband is back... And you know what? I don't know.
Exactly.
That's a different situation.
So that means that it is possible.
It's not possible. You may try to make yourself believe that it's possible, but in reality, I don't think it is. To love, I think it's possible that you can be in love with someone and you can love someone. I think that's a possibility. But to be in love with two people at the same time, no.
Well, let me ask you this though: when you in love, are you always in love with the person, or are you in love with the idea of the person?
Sometimes a person can be in love with the ideal of that person.
So is that really being in love? I mean, because if that's the case, then you can be in love with two people.
So being in love is when you know you're in love. The ideal of being in love with somebody is still, like I said, thinking that you might be in love with this person, but you're really not. Mm-hmm. Same thing. The ideal of being in love with this person is the same thing of thinking that you might be in love with this person, but you're really not. In reality, you just love them because of the history.
Because of history.
Yeah, but you're not in love with this person.
Yeah. What about? And I'm only asking these questions because I think that it could be possible. I don't know. What about women who are in love with their husbands and then like end up smashing the pool boy, but then find out that they in love with them too? Like it happens only because something is missing.
It all boils down to what their definition of what being in love is. It all depends on what their definition of what love is. Basically, to me, what is your definition of love? That's the question. Because, and I'm sure a lot of people have their own definition of what love is. How it's shown to them, how they present it.
Right.
So when it comes to that, then I guess it's kind of different for everybody. Because a lot of people take it, because you buy me stuff, oh, he in love with me. Because you feed me, you in love with me.
Because you feed me.
Because the way you look at me, oh, he in love with me. Because he want to fuck you every day, he in love with me.
I mean, that counts, right?
No, it doesn't.
It don't.
Just because the person want to have sex with you does not mean that they're in love with you.
The way I look at you,
that don't mean nothing. You can just be wanting some sex and you giving them dreamy eyes.
So what?
I'm just saying.
So how do you know
it's more to it. You trust me. You would know. A grown man and a grown woman would know. Now we're not talking about high school. Oh, lust. I think I'm in love with him, but it's really just lust. We're not talking about college. Because that happens in college when you just you think you're in love with somebody, but it's majority of the time it's lust again. It's just a feeling that you would know.
First of all, there has to be some element of lust in every love. Otherwise, it's a friendship. I'm just saying. Otherwise, we friends.
I mean, it's okay for the lust to be there, but at the same time, you're in love with this person. You're in love with this person because you want to be with this person. You want to have a future with this person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just a feeling that you have. And you can't do that with two people because then you can't give your all to this one person that you say you're in love with.
So is that what the difference is? Not giving your all? I mean, that don't make the difference. That don't mean that you're not in love just because you're not giving your all.
But when you're in love, you will give your all.
Theoretically.
No. That's just plain and simple.
Theoretically.
Okay. So we're going to go to a response that we received when we posted the topic today. Okay.
Don't forget, while she's looking up the response, you can hit us up on... Yeah, you just got to call us here. Because we're not on Facebook Live. So you hit us up 760-283-4647 and hit that number 1 key. We want to know, can you be in love with two people at the same time? So you can ready to read a response.
Okay, so someone responded. It said, I heard of it. You can love one and be in love with another. I guess. Don't know how that works because your mind is so consumed with the one you're in love with.
Yeah.
My point exactly.
So that must have been a woman.
It was.
Yeah, exactly right.
No, but seriously, whether it was a male or a female who said that is the truth. Because when you're in love with someone, you're in love with someone, and just like she said, you're consumed with that person. Mm-hmm. You might be in love. You may love your baby mama if you have one, but you may love the woman that you may be in love with the person that you're with. You love your baby mama because y'all have memories together. Y'all have a child together, and whatever. But being in love with someone, it's like you're going to give them your all.
Right.
That's just what it is. So if you think you're in love with two people, you're fooling yourself.
You're fooling yourself.
You're selling. You're not only selling yourself short, but you're selling these two women short that you say you're in love with.
Not all the time, though. Hey, look, this is the only reason I say that. I mean, obviously, I guess you couldn't, in those terms, you couldn't be in love with two people at the same time. Now, however, some women being loved is as close to being in love as they ever gonna get or have been.
And that's the thing. That's what I said. Some people don't know what love really is. So it can be the littlest things to where they think that this dude is in love with them, and that's even for a male. They think if a female do this and do that for them, they're in love with this female because they never was shown what love is really about to begin with. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all depends on their definition of being in love is, or what love is.
Now you know what else could happen though? You could be in love with that person, right? You're in love. Like this is your wife, your husband, whatever. You're in love with that person, and they not displaying that they in love with you, right? Okay. That could happen, right? Like a lopsided kind of thing. Like you in love, they love you, but they ain't really in love, right? But you in love. So then you get someone, or maybe somebody from the past that you had something with, and you you fall in love with them, right? Now you're still in love with this person, but the only reason why it's fading is because you're not getting it back. At some point,
you have fallen out of love with this person. You just haven't admitted it to yourself yet.
Well, you haven't fallen all the way out yet, though. You like 50%. If you're on eblockradio.com right now, make sure you hit us up, 760-283-4647. Hit the number 1 key. Holler at your boy. Can you love two people at the same time?
So, have you ever been in love with two people at the same time?
Nah, never.
Are you in love with two people at the same time now?
I am.
And who is that?
And I've already explained to you how this works. So, fellas, this is how it works. So, fellas, if you out there listening, if you listen on the replay, man, make sure that you take notes.
Who the hell you in love with?
Keep this in mind. When your woman ever asks you if you in love with somebody else, you tell her absolutely, I'm in love with somebody else, and that other person should be yourself.
Oh Lord!
You should be in love with yourself, because you have to love and be in love with yourself before you can be in love with anybody else.
And that goes back to what I said. You have to know what love is, and you don't know that until you love yourself or whatever, right? That just go hands in hand.
So you can't be in love with yourself and be in love with somebody else, then, right?
You should automatically love yourself anyway. So that's not even.
Most people don't.
But that's probably the problem. But that's not even an option. So you should automatically be in love with yourself.
It most definitely is an option.
We're talking about loving someone outside of yourself. Being in love with someone besides yourself. That's what we're talking about.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
If you don't make those stipulations, it can be thought of as that.
Most definitely, you should love yourself. You should be in love with yourself.
Exactly.
And then that's how you know that the true meaning of love, if you haven't experienced it elsewhere, the way you love yourself.
I dig that.
So yeah. Whatever.
In love with two people at the same time. eblockradio.com, man. Hit us up, 760-283-4647. Now, how? Cause I think this is the problem, right? I think there's a problem is that we're trying to focus on the difference between being in love and loving somebody. So that is possible, though, right? So you can love somebody and be in love with somebody else. That's what you're saying. Like that's a possibility.
Yeah. Now, which way do you go? Do you go with the person you're in love with, or go with the person that you love because y'all have memories, y'all have history?
I don't know. I'm saying, what would you do personally?
Memories are always made to be built on.
Mm-hmm.
Holding on to old memories. I mean, they're memories. That's what the word is, memories.
I mean, but you have memories with the person that you're in love with too, though.
Yeah, but you're building memories currently with the person that you're now in love with, the person that is now in your life, you're involved with. So if you say for example, if you've been with this girl for 5-6 years, and then y'all break up. Mm-hmm. And y'all have been broken up for some time now, for about a year, 2 years, and you have not gotten into a relationship until bam, somebody walks into your life.
Okay.
But in between time, you were still hung up on the memories that you had with your ex, right? Which is memories.
Okay.
So when this new person walks into your life, and then y'all start to build new memories, and you're feeling some type of way. You get butterflies or whatever in your stomach. does that still happen?
Yeah, it still happens.
Thank God. But you start getting butterflies, and y'all kicking it, y'all vibing, and then y'all say I love you to one another, and blah blah blah. You in love with this person. Then eventually those old memories of your ex is going to fade away because you're so busy and focused on building new memories with this person you're involved with. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's like that is more important because the past is the past. You got to keep the past where it belongs, which is in the past. Okay. So because if you don't, then you're never gonna go anywhere in life, and that's just not even just relationships, just period.
And that's no matter what the situation was when you split up or anything.
The past is the past.
I mean, maybe they got shipped off to Iraq. You thought it was dead. Just saying, it could happen.
Why everybody gotta be dead for you to be in love? For you to continue to be in love with them?
I mean, because I guess that's the only way it can happen. I guess so.
But we're talking about a live person here. Okay. All
right. Well, I was just asking, man. Well, look. So look at that situation, right? So that is possible. It's possible to love somebody and then be in love with somebody. Now, let me ask you this though: if you're in a relationship and it is somebody you love, but you in love with the person you with. How important is that to tell the person you in love with? Like, hey, like I still love old boy, but I'm in love with you. Is that a conversation that needs to be had? Like, dog, like you know we together. You know I'm with you. I'm in love with you, but I ain't gonna lie. I still love my man. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Is that a conversation? Well, let me ask you this. Maybe not personally, but is that a conversation that you think a woman would ever have?
With the dude that they're
with? Probably not, huh?
You know what? Me personally, I wouldn't say it. Yeah. I wouldn't bring it up because if it's not interfering or bringing conflict between my relationship as far as with the person who I'm with now, no. I can still love this person. I can still have feelings for this person, but I'm not with this person. Okay. We have moved on, so it's no point. But eventually, you won't even focus on that because if you're in love with this person and y'all are steady building together, then eventually that shit is going to be as we call it already, a memory, right? A past memory. Well, I'm not even focused on that no more.
So you wouldn't have that conversation?
I wouldn't have that conversation. I'll let it go. No. Now, if it was to where it pulled me left and right to right. Damn, am I still in love with this person or am I in love with this person? Yeah. Then I don't know if I would still. That's a conversation I would have to have with myself first.
Oh, so you gonna keep it to yourself first?
I'm gonna keep it to myself first. Then I have to ask myself, who the hell am I really in love with? Right. Is it and it's possible that you can still be in love with this past person, but you chose to be involved with this person so you can get out of love with that past person. No, seriously.
Oh, so he's a rebound.
It happens. Damn. I'm trying to tell you that happens.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a conversation on there.
No, okay. I'm just saying that happens more than you know.
If y'all listening right now and we don't come on live next week, you gonna know what the conversation. You gonna know what it was after the show.
But that's the truth. Unfortunately, it happens like that to where a person gets out of a relationship is with the person that they're still in love with, and they get with another person to try to get over that person they just came out of their relationship with. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, I don't know what you're saying because that's called a rebound. Well, we're gonna call it
a rebound.
I've never did the rebound thing.
Well, me neither. But I'm just saying it happens.
Oh, you haven't? It's another conversation we're gonna have off the air. So
I have not. I don't remember.
If you are on eblockradio.com right this moment, you got about 10 minutes left. You can hit us up 760-283-4647 and hit that number 1 key, man. The phone lines is dry right now.
We got a long time. I got to keep talking about this.
Yeah, it's only a few more minutes, man. It's 5:48, so we only got a few more minutes, man. We got about 6 more minutes, though. We got about 6 more minutes, and it's all good. So I'm gonna switch it up, though. I'm gonna switch it up because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at switching it up. But whatever, man. So if you don't have that conversation, how do you figure that you can not even be in love, but how you figure that you love somebody else and you figure that it's not going to be a situation. Like, how do you figure that can even happen? Like, if you don't ever mention it, and then I find out, like, you at work, writing in your notebook, writing some dude name with hearts around it. I'm just using an example there. You know what I'm saying? Like high school or whatever. You writing hearts around his name, but it ain't my name, but I find a notebook. Like, how do you explain that at that point if you never had that conversation like that this person still exists in your heart? Like, what happened to women wanting to be so honest and everything? Like, but you wouldn't mention that though. I'm just saying.
I don't know.
That's your response to that? That's it? Oh, hell no. That was your response to that.
You know what?
Wow.
Then I guess at that point, she, like I say, she need to have a conversation, or he need to have a conversation with himself, or she need to have a conversation with herself,
right?
To see where her heart really is.
Yeah,
that's just the bottom line of it. That's all. We
gotta shoot to the phone lines. Look like we got a caller, man. We gotta bring them on real quick. Don't forget, if you're on eblockradio.com, you can hit us up 760-283-4647. Hit that number 1 key. We shooting to the phone lines. I got 818-222. You on live? He say, she say.
Hi, it's Enchantress here.
Hey, what's going on?
Well, I'm listening to what you're saying, so I just want to add what my issue. I would just say it's those vibrations. You just can't explain it. You just feel those vibes from someone.
Right. So what you saying?
Doesn't matter.
Those vibes, you can have those vibes for two different people.
Oh, you can have for many people. I can. Morals don't matter. Those vibrations. If you just think of those vibrations and don't think about morals, you can have it for any amount of men you want to, or women.
I say, or women, right? You're politically correct, right?
It's just those vibrations.
That's what's up. Hey, thanks for your call, though.
Yeah, well, it's the morals that get in the way.
Right, I believe that. So obviously, I guess you've been in love with more than one person before, I guess.
I don't know if you call it love. It could be love. It could be love or lust or whatever those vibrations mean to you.
Right.
I'm just saying that there could be with someone where you don't feel anything, and if that's the way it is, you shouldn't be with that person. Those vibes are not for you. But there's some people I guess maybe because I'm a highly sensitive woman, their touch, their voice, their anything could just, you could be drawn by their vibrations. That's all I can say.
Right, so that
relate? I can't explain it. I'll just say that I could be drawn by looking at a picture and seeing somebody's picture, and I'm drawn to that person's hair.
Right.
The next thing I know, our vibrations are so high, we just can't deny it.
Right. That's exactly. So that's either being horny or lust. You have lust.
And thanks for your call, though, baby.
It turned into love. The person understood me better than anyone else. So it's not just lust, but it's vibrations. You can interpret any way you want to. Well, I don't think lust is a bad thing.
No, lust is not a bad thing at all.
Any church people out there, I'm sorry if I'm offending them. I don't mean to offend you.
Lust is definitely not a bad thing, but definitely lust.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, okay. But if you...
Okay, what? Yeah, so she said the vibrations though.
Vibrations.
Right. And so look, so that goes with what you were saying though, right? So
I mean, like I said, people have to know the difference between what lust and love is.
Yeah.
Lust, we are as human beings are lustful human beings.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong about that. Yes, but we're talking about when being,
so who you lust?
We're talking about being in love.
Okay.
To where it's more to just lust, beyond lust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when she say feeling the vibrations, we can go every kind of way with feeling the vibrations. So I'm not for sure. People take that up, a different way. When we say vibrations,
the vibe. So
it
can
be the vibe as far as because you're not looking for anything, but it's still this vibe that y'all have. You can have this vibe when you're not even trying to find love, but still feel this vibe. You know what I'm saying? You just want them or want her.
Just
so
want,
you know, I feel
want them.
Exactly.
Want them, right?
You don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to do it with love or being in love or whatever. You just got this vibration.
That's
what's up.
All right, so we'll go around one last time, man, before we get out of here. You got like 30 seconds. If you got a quick comment, you can hit us up 760-283-4647 and hit that number 1 key. But Coco J, can you be in love with 2 people at one time?
I say no, and I only say no because you may think you might be in love.
You don't think so.
You might think you might be in love with 2 people, but you can love someone and be in love with someone, which is a difference.
Yeah.
You love this person because you have history with them, and you know this is your ex, and y'all have history together. Being in love with someone is somebody that you're trying to be with and continue to prove your love and continue to prove that you're in love with this person,
right?
Or things of that nature. So, if you think you're in love with 2 people, then you need to evaluate yourself.
Evaluate yourself.
Yeah,
right?
Simple as that. Because I don't think it's possible. You may think it is. It may be lust. Mm. You know, you may think you be in love because you just had some bomb ass. You know what I'm saying? But then it's just lust.
I sure would like to have some of that.
I'm just saying. So people kind of get that confused, lust and being in love. So once you know how to differentiate between lust and love, being in love rather, then there you go.
All right, I feel you. So of course, like I said before, if you take it for face value, of course you can be in love with 2 people because one is going to be yourself and then one will be the person that you're in love with.
Lord.
But can you be in love with 2 people? I mean, obviously not if you're looking at it in that terms about giving that person 100% and everything, putting your all in. Then of course, no, it couldn't happen. But I'm still kind of stuck on this, which we're going to have a side conversation after the show. How you can be in love with somebody and still love somebody else and not want to mention that to the person that you with. I think that is completely unacceptable. All right, so we're gonna have a conversation about that. But on that note, man, it's about time to get up out of here. I want to thank everybody who checked us out on eblockradio.com, everybody that checked us out on Blog Talk Radio. Shout out to our caller, feeling the vibrations. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to our caller and shout out to people who will be listening to the replay on eblockradio.com as well as New Orleans Talk Radio Network.com. All right, so make sure you check us out there on Wednesdays from 5 until 6. That's Central Standard Time. But on that note, man, don't forget to set your clocks ahead on Sunday. All right, so spring forward.
That came quick, didn't it?
I think so. It came like before Easter. I guess it always comes before Easter. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. So yeah, shout out to setting your clock up. Don't not set your clock and then have to be at work on Sunday and be late. Is that how that works? Because you didn't set it up yet. No, you would just be early. No, you would be late. Yeah, you would be late because it would already be 7 o'clock.
You're confusing me. I don't know.
It would be 7 o'clock, but it'll still be 6 o'clock if you ain't set your clock, and then you're gonna be late for work on Sunday or late for church. You know, whatever you're doing on Sunday. So this is Sunday morning, right? Saturday night going to Sunday morning.
Saturday at 2.
Okay, so shout out to the club. We're going to be in the club 1 extra hour. Whoop, whoop. No, one less hour.
I would be at home.
1 less hour. That's right.
In the bed, 1 extra hour on Saturday.
Yeah, it's 1 less hour. I feel you. But on that note, man, we going to get up out of here. I want to thank everybody for checking us out. Make sure you check out the replays on eblockradio.com. Until next week, man, it's your boy, the Hood Howard Stern, Q Lewis, holding it down from 6 Mile to the Mile High.
And it's your girl, CoCo J. Have a safe and blessed weekend.
Do what you like. Feel the vibrations. We about it, y'all. Peace.